Let's revise lines and angles. A line AB is the one which extends to both the sides, and then you have line segment which is a fixed one, so it doesn't exist. If there are 3 points A, B and C, and if they are all on the same line, they are called collinear. So these are the words which you can get in the exam question, so that is why I'm explaining it. Moving on to angles, you know, you have there's a right angle which is a 90-degree, and always it will be displayed by this square bracket. So if you get a picture in the exam question and if you see the square bracket, you can imagine that, you can understand that it is a 90-degree. And then if you have a straight line, the total angle is equal to 180-degree. And if you have something like this, the total angle of all these which I marked in red is 360-degree. Okay. Then to name the angles, to name the angles, you have acute angle which is less than 90-degree. We have obtuse angles which is greater than 90-degree. We have right angle which is equal to 90-degree. We have reflex angle which is greater than 180-degree. Okay, and there are some properties which you need to learn. So if you have two lines like this which is crossing each other, this angle and this angle are called vertically opposite angle. Vertically opposite angles. And then you have, if two parallel lines are always denoted by this, and which is cut by a transversal, which is cut by a straight line, which is called a transversal. This angle and this angle, okay, or this angle and this angle, these are called corresponding angles. And these corresponding angles will always be equal. Again, take the case of two parallel lines which is cut by a transversal, this angle and this angle, or this angle and this angle. These are called alternate angles. These are also equal. Now if you have a triangle and all angles add up to 180-degree, it's a very important property which you have to remember. And then you have a triangle. If you extend it, this angle is an exterior angle. To find the interior angles of this exterior angle, you just skip the angle which is just next to that, and then the other two angles are called interior angles. The exterior angle will always be equal to sum of interior angles. Now you have the congruence of triangles. Congruent triangle, or there's another word called similar triangles. So what you have is, if two triangles are same, we say that they are congruent. And there are different types of congruence, which is like side, 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 which means the side of one triangle is equal to the side of the other two triangle, or side angle side, or angle side angle, ASA. And the fourth one is RHS, which is like right angle, hypotenuse and side. So this is valid only for right angle triangle. You have a right angle, you have the hypotenuse as the similar one, and then you have another side which is similar. Okay. Finally, there are special triangles, which is the first one is an equilateral triangle. Equilateral triangle, all sides are equal. Okay, all angles are equal, and angles will always be equal to 60-degree. So I have seen exam questions with this topic. So they will say that in the question they will say that this is an equilateral triangle. So immediately you have to remember that all sides are equal and all angles are equals, and depending on that you can further do the calculation. Then you have isosceles triangle, where you have two sides equal. So if these two sides are equal, the opposite sides, these are called base angles, and these angles will always be equal. It can be any degrees, okay? There is no specific rule that it will be 60 or 30 or 40, nothing like that. It can be any values, but it will be always be equal.